it's being recorded. Damn. Anyways, so yeah, trying the different pairs and stuff like that. Trading one pair made me realize exactly what I want to look for inside of the market, and kind of made it very simple. 1 second. What happened?
We want ice cream.
I give you the ice cream soon, okay? Go lay down and watch the cartoon. I soon come. All right. So, yeah, trading that one pair kind of made me realize what I want to look for in the market, what I want to see. And then from that now, I'm able now to look for those similar things in other markets to see if it makes sense. And so far, things have been correlating well, which kind of gave me the confidence and the assurance that, oh, okay, it always been about risk management and money management. It was never really about how to trade anymore, because all systems work. You just have to know the probability of your system. Like, I don't care if you trade in support and resistance, you know what I mean? If you're doing something like this, then all power to you. You must find your ways into making this thing work for you, right? Know the probabilities and it'll work. I rather trending markets, whether going to the upside or going to the downside. Those things make more money to me, right? So anyways, I just want to show these like pairs on. I'm going to do my quick outlook, and then I'm going to just get into the psychology, create a formula for how I do these videos, and then let y'all go. If you all want to chime in and say anything that you want to do, just feel free to do that at any point in time. But I can just go on my rant right now and just do my markups and explain like what I'm looking at right now. So I start with gold, NAS, Bitcoin, US30, and more than likely I can just leave it to gold and NAS, right? So let's go. On gold, obviously, it's starting with a top down. Go for the weekly. We just tap in this MA right here. Beautifully put. Every time you see the top of the MAs, we typically continue in that trend direction, right? You see tap and go, tap and go, tap and go. I'm looking at this to tap and go, right? So we can look at the development of that during the stages of it as we go down time frames. So this is how you're able to still trade bearish, but then you know you're looking for a bullish bias overall. Anyways, so that's what we're looking at. On the daily now, we see that we trending lower. We're just breaking lows and breaking lows. You see the same thing that I've been talking about for the longest time. So we expect this low to want to be run on, even if it's just manipulated and then continues up, right? That's pretty much what we're looking for. Very simply put. So even if I just leave these lines here just to reference, I'm doing the same thing over and over on every pair. You're going to see that very soon and very shortly. If you're new to this pretty much, but y'all who see me doing this, you see I say the same thing over and over again. And that's how systems are supposed to work. You're supposed to kind of like have the system repeat itself over and over again. Otherwise, it's not a system. You're gambling. Cool. So what we see here now on the 8 hour now is the fact that we just broke this high right here. So right now it's in that weird iffy state, because what wants to happen is this high wants to be run on the 8 hour, right? Looking on that perspective. And then this is the low that we initially want to see run on. So right now, this is where buyers and sellers are clashing, because you do have people that are thinking that it's going back to this high right now. And then you have people that are thinking that gold is going to fall off till like kingdom come down here. So this is why the market moves how it moves, because you have both buyers and sellers in the market. It's all just about who wins the battle. In other words, who has more money invested in a certain direction, whether banks or institutions, whoever, whatever. So you get me. Now, if we want to decide on a direction now to trade, we go on a lower time frame and we look at this. What do we see here immediately? We start to break lows. So I'm just, again, formulating a bias as to what I want to see. Based on this, I want to see this low get run. So basically so far, I have a confluence that lines up with my overall bias of being bearish. But remember, the weekly is bullish, right? But again, you have to have these things inside of your mind to realize what's going on. So when you put your risk on, you're not just jumping around all over the place. Or you see a bullish candle, so of course it's bullish. No, that's not how it works. You have to formulate your bias, create an outlook for yourself, and then stick to your outlook. Because 9 times out of 10, y'all experienced it too. You create an outlook for yourself. You knew they was going in a direction. Then you saw something that kind of made you shaky on that. And then you went in the opposite direction, only for it to continue in your direction. And you just like, yeah, but I knew it was going up. Well, duh, come on, you knew. So experience will shape you over time. Like I say, Aman said, the losses that you take and the losses that you accumulated over the years is your tuition fee for trading. That struck me different. You understand? So yeah, walk with that as you would. So right now, so far, we have two big confluences right now based on most recent price action that we want to short. Of course, this thing can continue going way up. But until then, we're seeing what the price is doing right now. And plus, look at this now, another confluence. We just here tapping the MAs. We rejecting off of that nicely. We just chilling, right? So if I jump down to my 5 minute, what do I see the most recent thing happening? I see the most recent being this high being broken up here, right? That's the most recent thing that I've seen in terms of structural patterns. Otherwise, this low immediately got broken right here. So we kind of in between the fence here. So what we need to see right now is like price push up, come right here, stop, and then try to break this low. If it does this, I would definitely enter short right away for it to go south. You know what I mean? It's because that's the first break of that bearish structure. Even though we are above the MAs, there are things that you're going to learn over time from experience that you just figure out. Like now I figure out, okay, I want to take my sells above the MAs and I want to take my buys below the MAs. Some people will be like, oh, but I thought you trading continuation. Yes, I am. And guess what? I have different entry models. So one of the entry models, as you can easily see, would be Primora, where I can trade under that low and then put my stop loss above here. That's one entry model. The next entry model can easily be, okay, price push up, push down, fail to break the highs, as you keep on hearing me say, and then start to break the low. That's the next entry model, and this is above the MAs. This one here yields a higher return once it takes off, but is a lot more risky because you're not guessing. You're kind of like assuming based on the actions that it's going to be the very first bearish push, and a lot of times that's exactly what it is, right? So you have different entry models yet trading the same system, because essentially what that same break is exactly what a Primora break is. You understand? Very simply put. So again, I'm waiting on that for that to happen. But obviously you can look on it like this also and say, yeah, we breaking highs here and we want to run this on here. But I just told you, if it comes up here, stops and breaks that, I'm getting in. If it comes up here and breaks this, then I'm just watching my higher time frame here. Because remember, the 1 hour broke structure there. So if the 1 hour comes and breaks this structure now, then we can be bullish. And I hope I'm not confusing anybody here. It's literally you still just watching market structure, whether you're breaking highs, which says bullish, or you're breaking lows, which says bearish. Breaking highs, comes back down. This is where you want to get involved for it to go back and break highs. Or you understand that the market structure will go the opposite way, fail to break the high and start to break the lows and keep on repeating itself over and over in a bearish structure. Market trends, but we're just following the same thing over and over and over again. We're not complicating nothing. There's nothing crazy new that I'm introducing except for things that I'm noticing within the same structure. So over time, you literally will start to refine your system and then make it work for you. So there you go. That's what I'm looking for there. And that's on the 5 minute, so basically right now it's in a good context for me to continue looking shorts. If this candle comes up here and closes and leaves this low here and then trades short, I'll trade that right away as soon as the market open. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Come 5 o'clock, if that happens, I'm getting in there once my spreads are okay, and that's my outlook for gold. So I'm waiting on this to happen. Either my Primora thing gets triggered right now for the buy and that goes up and probably comes up into like a zone right here, or it continues going back down, which is what I said that I wanted to see, right? Very simply put. And then we get straight on to the next pair. And like I said, as soon as I'm done with this, I just want to talk about psychology and what we're doing in terms of money management and trading, and then move on from there. So on the weekly, what do you think? It's the same system. I'm not changing nothing, right? Nothing is different. I'm not adding nothing or subtracting nothing. I just look at the same market structure. On the weekly, See the bullish structure, we just pulling back and just going. So if I go to the monthly, it'll look like what we want to see. Sorry, 1 month. Look at this, tapping into the MAs, and this is on the monthly. You know what I mean? So I'm showing you something that is highly repeatable. And on the monthly, we just tapped into here. Where do we want to target? The highs. You understand? So go down to the weekly. Let's just top down. Go down to the weekly. We chilling right here. We kind of broke this low right here, but we haven't broken any lows from the recent structure. This would be the low right now if it goes and breaks that, you know. So we playing in a range right now. So this again can go and play for till thy kingdom come. And this is how liquidity is generated, as I keep on showing you. But overall, we are obviously bullish because we're breaking highs. See the Primora one right there? I don't even need to draw that one there. All right. Here we are breaking highs. Now we just broke this low. Everybody and their grandmother trying to short. You understand? But we understand how this thing works. Just like right here when it started to break short and then it started to break back highs and go. Yeah, that's what we're waiting on right now. If I go to the daily, what am I seeing? I'm seeing that we're breaking highs. Cool. Bam. And this is the high that wants to be run on right now. So very simply put, that's the high that wants to be run on. And this is how I formulate a bias very fast. Like, I do it way more faster than this. I just try explaining it to y'all and saying it to y'all. Half the time it take me probably 15 seconds to read up a chart. 15 seconds max probably, you know. I immediately look for the highs. What are we doing? Breaking highs or breaking lows? That's my first thing. After I say that to myself, okay, I scale down from the daily, go down. If all of them line up, Bridget, as soon as the market open or something, I'm in there, you know. Cool. So right now, based on this, Primora is showing you if it breaks that's the first break to go lower. Otherwise, we already know that we bullish because we breaking highs, right? This has not created any structure and broken a structure to say we're bearish, right? So what we need to see right now on the daily, see this is how quick you can understand that you don't need to trade this market at all. What we need to see on the daily right now is this come above the MAs, pull back. See, we need to see this push up here, pull back, leave this high here, fail to break this new low, and then once it trade through there, we chilling. On the daily, you can take that trade if you want. Otherwise, I am going to wait until that breaks, pushes up, proves bearish, and then comes back down. Once that pullback is there, I am getting involved in here on the 5 minute, 1 hour, all these different time frames for it to do what? Target back the high. Why? Because it's proving bullish structure, as we keep on saying. And this is the leg that is the pullback. The pullback to do what? Induce people to sell. Why? Because that is how institutions and banks get in at cheaper prices. Because they know what? That the market is going to continue. So we just piggybacking off of the big money that's moving. Very simply put, you know. So down here is where you want to get involved. Down here is where you want to get involved. But this first initial push is the one that kind of tells you if it is or is it not, you know. So that's pretty much what you're looking for. So now that I've explained that again, on the daily, that's what we're looking for. No need for me to go down to the 8 hour or the 1 hour right now. That's the key point here that I can tell you right now. Whatever your higher time frame is, if it's not aligning, you don't need to look on the lower time frame whatsoever. You know why? Let me tell you why. Remember our bias. Remember we're trying to look to see if we're going to go back bullish because we've been breaking highs, right? So we're bullish on gold, on Bitcoin right now. We just want to see something play out first. If I go down to the 1 hour right now, sure, I see highs being broken, but guess what? I see lows being broken too. And then guess what? This one right now, because it's the live market, this one can break through there. I can say to myself, yeah, boy, well, if it breaks through there, then that's the first bearish break, so I can get in there. Why? Why would you do that? The point is, you're going to create stories no matter what when you go down to the lower time frames. If I go down to the 1 minute right now, bugger confusion. Look at this. Buying, you get stopped out for sells. You selling, you get stopped out for buys. This is how liquidity is generated. I don't care if you see a move like this coming down. You don't get involved because your higher time frame, whatever that higher time frame is, honestly, if it's the daily, you wait for the daily to shape up first. That's what you do. So if you trade in the hourly as your higher time frame, wait for the hourly to shape up first. And by shape up, I mean very simply put, looking like this, bro and sis. If you see price doing this, you're waiting for that first breakout to prove, and the failure of the thing there, to prove that you're bullish. And then wherever it won't go, if it go to kingdom, who cares? You wait till it pull back to like a point like the MAs, right? Or you just wait for the pullback. Then within here, you have the little tiny bullish structures that can be happening. And this is how you get involved. See there? The high that there left, and then still the low. Once that trade through, you're continuing. You understand? To do what? Continue straight up to the top side. Why? Because that's how markets move. Within this thing, within this bullet structure, you have bullet structures within here on the smaller time frame, which is what you get involved in. Yeah, you understand? So it's very simple, man. That's all we're doing over and over and over and over again. But if you just randomly jump on a chart and start to look on this, the smaller time frames, you're going to confuse yourself immediately because it's doing both. It's doing both at the same time. So rely on your higher time frame first. Give yourself some patience and a little bit of damn discipline to say wait until the higher time frame shape up first. So your MAs can start to look like this. So say you want it coming back down and you wait on it to start flip back bullish. Bam. That's what you want. And then let's say the other time frame were like this because it's slower. Now you start to go bullish. You understand? And once it top your MAs, you know, so you start to look for your continuation trades to go through what? The highs and the highs. In a bullish market, obviously, if I invert the chart here, same thing for sells. Nothing not different, nothing not change. See there? Come down, top the MA, gone. Come down, top the MA, gone. Nothing not different. Nothing not different at all. It's all the same concept. It's fractal and it does the same thing. So again, like I said, I don't want to run on too much on this type of thing. I just want to kind of make it clear. So again, from the daily, I see not shape up itself yet. And let's say this was my higher time frame. There's no need for me to go down to the lower time frame. And what's the next obvious thing we can see? We just consolidating in this area. So I don't care who you are, what you do in life. You just literally giving money to Bitcoin right now. You understand? What you want is market conditions that kind of look like this. You understand? Clearly moving up and then coming back, tapping your MAs and just moving. They're the conditions that you want. As you can see, this is clear, right? Versus something like this. It just looked like you guesstimating up inside of here. And as we already know, the market moves from stage ones to stage twos to stage one to stage twos. And by that, I mean expansion, consolidation. Expansion, consolidation. And this one here now is a bigger consolidation to what? Further expansion to do what? Bigger consolidation. Look at how we met that perfectly. So that's just how markets work. And see the same thing from here before. Big consolidation to what? Further expansion. This is just me doing it on a macro now. Bigger consolidation to pull back to now new consolidation to now do what? Start this new trend up. And that's all we're doing, bro. So you got to know where you're at. Are you in a stage one or a stage two? Are you in a consolidation period and you're just waiting on it to come out of there, which now you can just wait for your MAs to start separating and looking good, you know, or what? So anyways, Bitcoin, we waiting on Bitcoin now to go bullish and then come back down like we saying. Bam. Tap the MAs. I literally just said this. And then you can look for your trades in here to take back out. Simple as that. So we're not doing nothing on Bitcoin. There's nothing for me to look on Bitcoin for the next couple of days. I ain't even gonna look on that. Finally, no, Nas. I didn't even know if I should do US 30. So Nas is a market that obviously, if you don't know what Nas is pretty much the amalgamation of all the tech companies in the world. Well, not in the world, but in the US, all the US tech companies. And obviously technology, AI, blah, 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 all these different things. This market will typically be going up a lot more so and more stable than other markets. But it's still difficult to trade because everybody think that it's going to be going up all the time, but it doesn't, you know. And typically when it does go up, it's just moving very slowly. As you can see, everything creeps. So what we're looking at on NAS right now, see on the daily, we just tap in the MAs. So we're looking for this to be run. I know that I bullish on this. I don't even need to go to like monthly, weekly. I can kind of already see it. But just to show you, the monthly is expanding, the weekly is expanding. So we back down to the daily. After a while, you start to know these kind of things just intuitively because you can see it. When they come back to the MAs on a lower time frame, you know for a fact on the higher time frame, it's still expanding. This is just a minor pullback on this. If I drop down to the 8 hour, what are we doing? What are we seeing? We see that we broke this low. Sure, we fine, but we waiting on it to actually break this one to prove that that's the first bearish thing. All right. Otherwise, this is the same thing what we're saying. If it comes up, comes back down, fail to break this low and come back and break this, then we're bullish, fully bullish on this. So low key, you can look for a buy in here, right? You can, but it's a little bit more risky, right? So to prove the same thing over and over again, see we pushed up, coming back down. If it fails to break this low and comes and breaks this 1 hour high, what I will be waiting on, here it is, push up, bullish structure, man. If it comes down wherever it wants to come down to, I don't care, and then fails to break this low, yeah, so it can play around in here. I don't care what it wants to do. Once it doesn't break this low and comes back and breaks this high, I'm bullish. Then I will simply wait for a pullback to the MAs, because the MAs would have now started to shape up like this, right? So it pulled back to the MAs. That's false information. It would start to look like this. This one here would be under, and then this one here would start to creep over, right? Because then the crossover happens, and then it comes back, taps into the MAs. This is where you're scaling down to your 5 minute now to look for your entries to do what? Continue the bullish trend. Because what? You're bullish from here, and now this is the new high, and this is the pullback. Bro, this thing is ABC at this point now. And of course, ABC to me because I've been doing it for so long now. But at the same time, you know, when you see it, you can't unsee it. People in here can attest to that. Once you see how market structure work, you can't unsee it, man. So that's what I'm waiting on Nas right now. Again, no need for me to go down to the 5 minute. You know why? Because I'm going to go down there and I'm going to find some stupid excuse to get into the market. I don't need to go down there, right? If I go down to the 1 minute, worse, Bridget. So, yes, I have my charts like this, and I be looking at my chart like this, but I already know mentally, I have the discipline to say, all right, no, I wait until one of them shape up properly first. See, look at the 5 minute, look. Anybody like, yeah, man, I'm going to short that now. Let me make it clear so it's just one screen. Everybody like, okay, on the 5 minute, they see Nas going down like this, right? Not knowing that the daily is just tapping that MA, you know? Remember? The daily is tapping the MA right now, so that plenty buyers are in here. You understand? And not just that plenty buyers are there, we want the proof that they are in there. So the proof is what I just said. Push up, push down, break the high, come back down. This is where we're looking for the trades to continue the bullish motion, to take it back where? Through the daily highs. Virgin, simple. See, if I go down to the 5 minute, somebody right now is looking on this like, yeah, this gonna short. And I'm telling you, it can. But I want to follow the higher time frame trend. Because when I do, then that's when Tevin can get down to the 1 minute, get into a trade looking like this, and man be like, your stop loss too small. I don't care, because my reward is like this when it does go. When it does go, this is what my reward looks like. See the high up here? That's what it looks like, 1 to 22 and them kind of stuff, you know? So I can walk with like a proper 1 to 8, 1 to 10. Yeah. So again, I'm not touching nothing on that until I see the 1 hour shape up. Why? Because the 8 hour already bullish. We not break that low yet. And the daily is just tapping the MAs. Chilling. You understand? And that's that. US started, we can do like a Forex pair. It don't really matter what you're looking at. So US started. Excuse. On the weekly, we obviously expanding there. Daily, same thing. We tapping on that MA. Hopefully you're seeing it now. In the 8 hour now, we broke that and then we broke this. So this one here is a little bit more tricky, you know what I mean? Because this one here broke the low. Hi, Baba. What happened? Yeah, I tell you, both of you gonna get it as soon as I finish, okay? All right, Baba. So, yeah, this one here is a little bit more tricky because look at this. We already started to break bearish, right? 2 times now. So this to me is I'm ready to sell this, right? Sell it to where? I don't know and I don't care. I would get into the market. So I would look now to the 1 hour because it confirmed to be bearish, right? Now you can say, all right, well, Tev, you just said that it bullish up here, so why not just wait till the thing happen in that sense? Yeah, you can. And that's what I would recommend, yes. But let's just play the game of, okay, I see 2 structure breaks and I just looking at the lower time frames now. You already know how I structuring it now. So I just waiting on, essentially, I waiting on the 8 hour then to flip bullish. So what I'm literally waiting on is this. So this. I wait on it to create a structure, come back down, fail to break this low, goes and breaks that high, then comes back, test the MA, and then I can continue going up. That's what I'm waiting on the 8 hour, which is the reason why I didn't have this on here in the first place, because I knew that this was happening. I just showing you something, if you wanted to, how you can get into the market now. As we can see, the 1 hour just broke that high. There's nothing for us to do here except for wait for this to push back up, fail to break this high, and then you can take this low. That is the most you can do. But on a market like this, US 30, I don't necessarily want to do that. You see these drops? These drops are crazy good. So for NAS and for US 30, I think personally, I'd rather look for shorts on these markets, because when they drop hard, but and you can get involved in these markets here really nicely. Look at US 30. When it drop hard, and when it pushes back up, yes, it pushes up good, but it's always chopping it. Versus like when it down, it just falling off. But you understand? Look at this, just falling off, come up, fall off. And then when it building back up, because everybody trying to buy these markets, because they're like, oh, it goes up all long term. Yeah, they get wrecked doing this. You know what I mean? So very simply put, that's what we're waiting on. Then you get that. Last one I would look on right now is, let's just say, UJ. I don't know. USD JPY. Top down analysis, same way too. Nothing changes. On the weekly, what are we doing? First of all, you remember when I told on a couple weeks ago, we were bullish on this? Look at this. Look at how this thing expanded. Let me go down. So I was telling him that we would, consolidating through here. This is where I was saying we were bullish from. And we got into these. Or who is that, Karen? Oh, that one of the bigger ones. Worry about them. Yeah, so this is where I was saying, yeah, we bullish from inside of this consolidation area. And look at the Primora thing just pushing out. So we were chilling in there, right? Because I said, okay, the daily were bullish. And I said inside of the chat, I can't go bother find that right, but I said inside of the chat, but that we were bullish because I like how we tapping into the MAs. And look at this beautiful push on the 8 hour, came down, dipped below, came up, blah, blah, blah. So this is where we're at right now. And if you see the bullish buying, what do you think we're doing over here? Sir, what do you think we're doing right here? We aiming for that. But see now, it coming up, failing to break the high. And if it comes back down and breaks this low, then it would be bearish, which we can just chill off of that. You know what I mean? I don't trade Forex like that anymore. But it's really good when you know how to look for market structure. So if I decide on what I would want to see right now, guess what? I see the 8 hour pushing up. It's playing around in this area right here. Primora sign just popped up right here. This can easily expand up to here. Easily. It can. So I go down to the 1 hour because we're heavy bullish. But be aware of this. See it here. Come down, push up, failing to break the high right now, and it playing around. So if it does come below here, it would be invalid in terms of buying right now. We'd have to wait until we see bullish structure again. But for now, it's bullish. So what we need to see is this. Yeah, that a baby now. Fam, give me 2 minutes. I have to go get the baby. That a boy now. Yeah, bro. So, I mean, I can just unplug this for now and then just listen if anything. But essentially, what happened now, Bubba? Essentially, that is how we looking at the market, right? As I can see, right? We're just looking for the same things over and over and over again. The last thing I can just do is go back over goal and then we can just call it a wrap, right? So essentially what I said, back down to the 5 minute, because I remember that straight. On the 5 minute, I'm looking for this now to either break the low, come up a little bit, fail to break the high, come back down into the lows, and that's just that, right? Otherwise, from that, that's the outlook. Let me give you the simple psychology now and just rant on this, and then we can wrap up the call. But money management and risk management, I come in to find out now, like, because even just up to a couple weeks ago, right? For anybody who just joined in, the call being recorded, and we kind of wrapping up right now. I done did the kind of like breakdown and outlook on what we're looking for, but yeah, I going on a quick little rant on money management. A man gave me a call this week, right? And I've been in his shoes countless times. And showed me a pre where he flipped a lot of money and then essentially lost it all in the same week. Couple grand well, right? That stings like a bitch. I just telling you something straight. It happens, right? And it's not a good feeling. But essentially it's coming from you and your lack of discipline and the greed factor, right? We all have it, we all face it, and that's not something that is easily overcome by keeping yourself in the market. Sometimes you have to dress back, still trading, but you really do have to have the mathed out and say, yo, I really and truly can't afford to lose all this money when I'm putting it in and risk it poorly. You have to have that management aspect to you. You have to have goals set for yourself. You know what I mean? You do have to. So when he called me about that this week, I felt it, heart felt it, because continue my conversation now, up to a week and a half ago now, a week and a half ago or two weeks ago, I had my regular standard, I had about, you know what I mean, 2 to 4 grand up inside of my account, and I chilling, and I just woke up now, like the regular fight that I have to fight, or everybody fights, of the greed and fear. I was just like, yo, I should risk a lot more on these trades for this week here or this day. And then I lost like 2 of the trades, and then I went on tilt and I just started to risk a shit ton. I blew the 4 grand, you understand? And to me, bro, that was the last straw. And I feel like that is exactly what made my mental shift right now. That gonna lead me to a new level. Because what I was doing before was I had this standard 4 grand in here, and then I'm making money weekly and then just withdrawing to my Wise account. So I have money on my Wise account, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing things, I'm buying things in Cayman, I'm paying for my gas, my groceries, blah, blah, blah. I live in life, right? And then blowing that account off of being stupid, off of just succumbing to the friggin' greed and fear and lack of discipline, I realized, yeah, bun that. I'm not doing that no more. You understand? That is bullshit that I'm doing. A lot of people would have that type of money there and manage it properly and make themselves financially free from that. And I just literally gave it all away just because of me being stupid. You understand? Just because of urges, blood. Urges. So I had to fight the urge now, and then I realized, okay, cool. Tevin, you gotta humble yourself. So now I started back the account now with simply 4 bills. Then I made a deposit, another 4 bills. So it was 8. And now I put the account up to about 1,400 from the profits last week here, right? From this whole week that we've been trading, I made probably like 4 or 5 bills, right? 1 second. Now, with that 4 or 5 bills that were made now, I said to myself, okay, cool. I just billing back the account to where I need it to be now. Which perfectly put now, I said, all right, the level up for me personally is going to be, all right, I put my account now to about 16K. And then I can trade with about 250 a day, right? Which is about 2%. Call it 2 and 2.5%. That then now is fully sustainable. And I double up what I've been making from before, right? Because that's my level up. And I can start to compound my account. That is a very serious thing, but you have to have the goals and you have to take it seriously, you know? Because as long as it took you to build your account, but you will blow that shit up and you will mash that up, and then what gonna happen to you psychologically? It gonna damage you inside of this thing. Because as easy as it is to make the money, but you can lose it too, and you already know it. Everyone on inside of this call, you're right, you know it. You've seen it happen so many times. You've done it so many times. So my thing to you is this: if you've seen it based on experience, Bridging, over and over and over and over again, when will it be enough of you blowing your account? When will it be enough of you losing money? When will it be enough of you not respecting trading and what it can give you, and the potential of you actually not friggin' going to your job on a day-to-day basis? When will you respect that enough? You have man in here that respected enough now and figured it out. So now what they're doing is actually making themselves financially free now. They're carving that path beautifully, and it's working for them, and they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I saw it a couple months ago, all right? And I finally started to put myself in a position where I'm profitable and I'm doing my thing now, happy. So now I realize I can teach people this, I can show people this, so they too can be in the same position as me, right? Yeah, and that's just that. So now I figured that out, and I just want to show you that. But you have to really and truly dig yourself in the chest, blood, and be like, yo, no matter what, I treat this like a business. It's a business, it's an entity, and I have to respect this entity, because this entity is going to break me out of my cycle that I don't want to be in. Half of everybody inside of here does not want to be in that cycle of the 9 to 5. We don't want it. I was never that type of brother. I was always the rebel from Good Morning. I don't like authority like that. You know what I mean? Unless it's my own or my parents from before. You know what I mean? Them kind of ways. I don't like authority. So I don't want nobody telling me nothing what to do. And I don't want nobody holding that over my head to say, oh, well, if you don't do this, then this gonna happen. Nah, burn all that. I want to control things, right? And that there now led me to trading, to make me say, yo, I definitely can see my freedom inside of this, because I don't have no boss. I don't have nobody to tell me shit. You understand? And my income, my earning potential is infinite. I can make whatever. You understand? Yeah, Bobo. And then now finally, risk management. The money part of it, blood. You got BC. Listen to me, blood. Listen to me. It's 7 on right now. I'm not gonna do well if I hear what I'm saying. Stop trading with small capital. That's the worst thing. I learn it now. I finally learn it now. Stop trading with small capital. And by small capital, that can be subjective, of course. But if you know how you can gauge what small capital is or big capital, if you put a certain amount of money inside of your account and you really afraid to lose it, that is big capital to you, right? That to me is probably like 10 grand, 15 grand. That to somebody else could be $100. You understand? But put enough money in there that you are afraid to lose it. You're going to respect it. You're going to respect. A lot of times people respect what they fear. Everybody fear death. You're not going to jump off no building boat. You're going to double flip, backflip, and you've never done it in your life. So you see how it makes sense what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So put an amount in there that you know you will respect, and then you trade a percentage of that. To me, I tell it on the right, my humble suggestion, 1 to 2%. Now, if you're going to look at me now and say, yeah, but Tevin, that's not a lot of money, then my bro, my sis, your fix then is for you to put enough money in there that 1 to 2% makes sense for you. Can't tell me talking foolishness. Because if you're saying 1 to 2% is only a little bit of money, then that's obviously because you're rubbing that thought against a small capital. That can be the only common sense part of that. Because you're not going to look at me and tell me 1% of $10,000, which is what, $100. Am I right? 10% is it? Yeah, which is $100 per trade. You're not going to tell me that that's a little bit of money. Because you get a 1 to 3, that's $300 for the day. You're not making that at your job. Don't lie to me. No. Not making 3 bills a day at your job. So you will respect that $100 going on a trade, and you'll appreciate it. So when you get to a 1 to 2, a 1 to 3, you'll take the profit because you know that that's a lot of money. So you have to work with yourself psychologically and say, okay, what's a lot to me? What makes sense to me? And what makes sense to me that I won't break the bank if I have a couple losses in a row? 1% of $10,000 is $100. If I lose that, $9,900 is what I have left. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm happy. But when you trading with all $400, $300, $200, you want your account to go up to all thousands. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna risk $50 a trade. You're gonna risk $100 a trade. You're gonna risk $35 a trade. And then when you blow your account super fast, you're looking on it like, oh, well, blah, 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 or it's a scam or some other bullshit, But it's not a scam. You're just not doing the maths. You're not doing the maths versus the time. So Matthew, right? Yo, that brother is so smart, but he inside this group here too. I think he on the call. Matthew is so smart, but I keep on telling him that, but I learning from him as well. You understand? And this is why iron sharpens iron, but so I don't know why I wasn't doing it before. I keep on saying the same thing. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about it before, but this is the reason why we have the community in the group. I was not thinking, okay, Tevin, treat it like a business. Every single month, whether the account is up or down, put some money inside of the account. Have monthly deposits. And you're still trading. You do, You do. Oh, boy. Put some money inside of the account every single month so that you can reach that certain goal, which woke me up to, okay, have a certain goal. And what is that percentage goal? Everything I just ranted about. Then now you'll sustain that over time. Eventually, literally, bridging, you trading with $200 per trade and you're making 5-6 bills a day. And it's nothing to your account size because you worked at your job to make that money. So don't try to run away from your job right now. It's an investment vehicle right now. Not an investment vehicle, but it's a capital generator for you right now. Use that and then generate the capital. I don't care if you make 3 bills a week. Clear your expenses first. And whatever you have left, divide that into half. Take the other half and enjoy yourself. And the other half, put that into your trading account. And do that every single week or every single month. But you understand? Eventually, yeah, so he is on the call. Yeah, he's saying indeed. Yeah, eventually, bro, you're going to be at a place that you have enough to sustain you more than you could have ever imagined. Worse if you already reach profitability and you keep on compounding it. Bro, you're going to get to a point, it's just like, wow, I actually made it. But now you know that, within a year or 2 years time, I'm actually not working at a job and I'm making the money that I used to make at my job and double that. And now, guess what? You can afford to. I'm not gonna go on for too long from this now. About 2 more minutes and I'm done. But I promise I'm not holding that too long. I got a baby deal with anything, and then boys to feed. But you will understand in a year or 2 years after you mathematically put yourself in position to do that. I'm actually financially free, because my expenses. This is the last part of the 2 minutes now. My expenses are lower, right? Way lower than what I'm making. I'm making almost 3 to 4 times my expenses. So now I can literally live below my means. Cause now that's the last part of this now. After you've evolved and then you become profitable and financially free, you have to now gauge, because there's levels to this shit. You have to now gauge how you increase the lifestyle. Because now some people they increase their lifestyle so drastically and too quickly that they can't sustain it. And that's another psychological barrier that you'll end up meeting later on in life, right? Because there's levels to this. There's so many different levels to this. Like how does your life change after you've made your first 100,000, after you've made your first $1 million? Your life is definitely going to be different. You don't think about your expenses how you used to. You don't think about assets how you used to. You don't think about money how you used to, and spending and people and time and stuff like that. All these different concepts of things right now that you think you know about, they change. How are you going to address that later on? And it's cool for you to think about it now, because if you're going to go there, why not think about it now? Think about your lifestyle. Think about how you can live below your means so that you can have more capital to invest. And then even when the capital starts to generate and double up and quadruple up, you're still living within those means so that you can reach to such a buffer financially that you're quote unquote financially free. Remember, if your expenses is just $200 a month and you make $800 a month, technically you're financially free. Think about it. Financially free does not mean why everybody think like, oh, I need $1 million to be financially free. That's a false ideology. That's false ideology right there. You understand? Similar to like why I'm saying you don't need $1 million in your trading account. You don't need to make $100,000. You don't need $30,000. You only need what you only need what 2% of that capital will be to make sense for you and your expenses and your savings to be financially free. That's all you need. So for a man like me now, I don't forget 100,000 years, only $400 a day. Come on, it's only $400 a day. And guess what? If you trade in with $400, let's say you get your account. See, this is how you can think about it. If you get to a point where 1% of your capital is $400, $400, right? So how do we do that? 0.04. Sorry, that's 0.01%. Times or divided by 400. No, so I think it's times. So it's 400 divided by 0.01. So if you have 40K inside of your account, literally, so if you have 40K inside of your account, you can trade with $400 per trade and go for a 1-to-1 every single day, and then you'll make $100,000 a year. And you know, based on the systems that we trade in here, we going up to like all 1-to-5s, 1-to-4s, 1-to-3s, and 1-to-10s and stuff like that. Bridget, so you know, no matter what, $100,000 is your minimum. That's your cap. But again, you don't need that. That's just me saying 1% for $400. You don't need that necessarily. Because remember, I just need 16,666 at 2%, sorry, at 3% to trade with $500 a day. Think about it. Because I'm comfortable with that risk. You understand? So I'm going to leave on it with that. Hopefully I found value inside of this again. You know, and as we continue, Bridget, as I say to another man and other people, I am on my way to financial freedom. I do not care if you are following me or not. When I'm there, I am there. So you're either with me, alongside me, or following me. But either way, I am going, bro. I am going, and I can figure it out. I can figure out all the ways. And that's why I think the community is very important, because we get to figure it out together. What happened? Yeah, this brother telling me say he want food, not done with the yappa yappa. You know what I mean? He say I'm not done heard enough, Bridget. Yeah. Yo, and if I don't have kids, if anyone don't have kids, gamify trading and show them. Right, you know, one of my sons can read charts. He can come here right, you know, and say, yo, oh, but daddy it bullish. I say, why? You understand? And then he'll look and kind of like show me why, you know, gamify it for them. Just be like, oh, and this is how money is made and blah, 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 blah. Okay, you can shift their mindset too on what money is and how easy how you can look on money, you know? But yeah, man, big up on yourself, but thank you for joining again. And throughout the week, we obviously going to be chatting in the group, you know what I mean? And we're going to be looking for the different things to play out, what we're looking for, as what we normally do, as what we usually do, you know what I mean? Big up, blood. Bless up. Thank you again for joining. But I come off of this right now and go to you, them on you. Big up.
Big up,
Peace.
bro.
Yeah, man. Bless up, bro. Yeah, Tom's. Big up.
Big up yourself, Tevo. Big up yourself.
Respect. No, I'm doing that. Cool, cool, cool. Bless
Uh,
up, bro. Yes, yes, yes.
Morning, but excellent, excellent. I think you did the charts
Hold on,
good.
Times. I can barely hear you.
Oh, you hearing me now?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
driving. Yeah, but that's a great call. I really appreciate the time. But that psychology part, man, you're on the ball. You have it. You have it. For the guy that lost, it's just a part of the game. I think persons who start, you get excited, and you just have to go through the process. What you must know is that the chart is always going to be there. Just
Yep.
have to eat down a little, learn the chart, learn the process of it. It gets exciting, but it's brutal. But the money is there for you to make. Just take your time and learn it. If you're not getting it, that's fine. It's just time. Over time, you get to see it. You get to see the structure, and you get to know your ways and know what you want out of it. Just to the point where you are now. Maybe it's not at that point. And yeah, it's important, but
Right.
we all lose money. But when you blow that shit and you say, oh my God, no, no, no. But then you must know that this is solid. You want the freedom, you have it. You just have to learn the skills, and it takes time. Whether it takes 1 year, 2 years is a long term goal. So you just take your time to kind of build back the confidence, even if you just stay away from it. But as you showed, the higher time frame is always important. Come off of the lower time frame, the higher time frame will teach you some patience too. And you just have to learn, hold it a little. You can make the money whether you want to scalp or you want to do it a little longer so that you can ease down on the loss of what you have. Just manage yourself. But excellent psychology, and you're spot on. There's nothing to be added, and that's great.
Big respect for that, and I really do appreciate your input on that too, because it makes perfect sense, you know. And as what Cody said too, sometimes not taking a trade. Hold on, let me see what you say. Also, not taking a trade is also a trade. Yes, sometimes you have to watch the market and just watch and see if the probability would have worked out in a certain way, and you know, mentally, psychologically, that is a trade as well in and of itself. So again, just stick to it and stay positive with what you're doing, because I've made it and I'm at a very comfortable point, and other people in here are using the same system and making it work for them. So it's just about you sticking to it, you know, and just learning it. So, you know, yeah, I've said enough. You guys heard enough. Appreciate that again, Thoms, for that. All of the people that are just joining and hearing it. I really do appreciate y'all. I can catch y'all inside of the group. We can just be posting as usual and showing what we're looking at, the outlooks and all them other stuff. Cool? Bless up, man. Cool. I see y'all. That was a good call. That was a very good call. I like that.